Are you Chance Candide? Found your journal. Couldn't help reading something about Venatori.
Ah, you've become embroiled in our local mystery. If you wish to help, let me shed some light. Venatori were spotted lurking in places where the crows conduct confidential business.
What can we do?
It would be a great help if you could search near our dead drops in the flooded district. That's where Venatori were last spotted. Please look for any clues as to what our spies are after.
Who told you all these stories about Antivan crows, Tash?
My mother. She told stories about everything the crows did when the Qunari invaded Antiva. The crows got a reputation for killing Qunari.
That was hundreds of years ago.
And now the Antam invaded Antiva again. Aren't the crows doing the same thing?
I suppose we are. We're not strangling them with their own arm ropes, though.
They probably tied them right.
Wine glasses. Like people were toasting a deal.
Not a vintage I've seen on any crow table.
Viago wouldn't be caught dead with any wine that wasn't twice as expensive as this. Another secret note between a crow and a Venatori. That's our third note by these Crow and Venatori spies. Half of these letters are written in a cipher I can't make out. Let's talk to Chance. Chance? We found notes from the Crow and Venatori spies, but parts of them are in code.
Ah, thank you. This may yet help trace their movements. Give me a while to break the cipher on these letters.
Chakra Toebra. Chakra Toebra. Stupid crisp consonants.
Your consonants sound pretty crisp to me. I like the way Qunari sounds when you speak it.
Nah, I'm saying it wrong.
That's what Shaitan says? She's real hard on you, huh?
Just trying to teach me. Like a Tamasran.
I don't think that's a Tamasran thing. I think it's a mom thing.
The sauce is just cheese?
And the pasta water. Yes, and it has to be good cheese.
That shouldn't work. The sauce should break apart.
Antivan cooking is more complicated than magic, sometimes.
This is it. But no sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
Visitors! What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmerich Volkaren of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met, well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl. What a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I like that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
Looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Oh, wow. I've never seen anything like this. Something weird up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
It's vital we discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves, depending on their condition. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Door's open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
I hope we can help here, Professor.
You already have, Bellara, and it's just Emmerich. Please.
Great, Professor.
I assume your visit has to do with recent upheavals we've sensed in the Fade?
Oh, just a little.
This magic, it drains everything around it.
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too, and I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid. They've answered. We'll need to guide the wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those...
Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often.
Here's our second wisp.
These are way different than some of the wisps in Arlethan.
I should like to meet some one day.
I don't know, Professor. Your wisps seem less, dangerous.
There's the last wisp.
Good. Let's return to the door. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction.
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I spend most of my life in Antiva.
Am I correct in guessing you're one of the crows?
At your service.
You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Ah, here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final path to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
What's it do exactly?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
Oh, that'd be helpful in Arlethan, but I bet it only works here, doesn't it?
Quite correct. The bell would be inert outside the necropolis.
Still, I bet the principles could be replicated.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair! Who brought it here?
Venatori!
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Shh, I think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
So don't dawdle!
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
Nah, I'll fill you in on them later. Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. This looks interesting.
A spirit labyrinth? I didn't know they'd learned to make miniature ones in Tevinter.
What's this?
A vessel to store the magic the Venatori intended to siphon away from us.
Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain!
Excellent.
Yes!
Kill!
That's the last chain.
We must return to the lower level to ring the bell. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori.
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
The gods demand more!
The grand necropolis shows itself!
It worked! Those despair demons are just gone.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the Blighted Elven Gods ourselves.
It would explain recent Oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after I slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The Elven Gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navara. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Only if your assistant's coming.
Manfred? But of course!
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful! I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmerich was off to a new adventure. But in Navara, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmerich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.
What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
They want a war? We'll damn well give them one.
You need an army to fight a war, though. They've got two. The Venatori and Antam wasted no time allying themselves with the gods. Power at any cost.
So how do we fight back then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies. Like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
I might be back in the Crow's good books after we save Treviso.
You impressed Viago. That is quite a challenge on its own.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
Any details on the Blight in the wetlands?
Antoine said he didn't write it down.
Why not?
Either he didn't trust someone else wouldn't read the note, or he didn't want us to panic.
The First Warden didn't seem impressed the last time we met.
I heard he told you to piss up a rope.
Will he be in the wetlands?
I don't keep track, but he can't stop you from asking a few questions, if we're fast enough.
Gillenane has laid low since we hurt her dragon, but the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than Wardens.
Morrigan and those Wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods. Or the closest damn thing to them.
Nev, you're back.
Yeah, I am.
Good to have you back. This is Professor Emmerich Volkaren, our Fate expert. And Tosh, our dragon hunter. They joined while you were away.
Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met.
So you're a dragon hunter? Minrathous could have used you.
What's going on?
Back home, what isn't? Look, you made an impossible call without enough information. I get it. It's the corner the gods put us in. It just might take time to shake off.
You are back though, right?
Yeah, Belle. I'm back.
Good to have you back, whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be a part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what happened to Minrathous, I've got even more reason to go after the gods. If anyone's got a shot at this, it's the people here. I'm still on the job. Count on it.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
Feels like stopping two gods isn't the kind of thing that should get handed to a fresh leader. Though someone needs to be in charge, right? Everyone's looking to me for answers. I have to be ready to give them, even when I'm not certain.
And that's why I recruited you, Rook. I knew you could fill my shoes. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the Wardens found. All this chatting has taken it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
This is quite the treasure hoard.
Is it true that crows are forbidden to take gold unless it's to kill someone?
No. We need gold to pay for things.
Look, I'm back and I'm on the job. That's all I want to say about it right now.
Huh. It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats, or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
You'd never know it to look at him. Seems friendly enough.
As long as he likes you.
So, what I'm hearing, Hassan is, gingerwort truffles for life?
Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy, Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that?
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
It's still early. Hassan's just a kid. Let him test the waters. See what shakes loose.
You mean like a parent?
Yep.
Parents. A scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Hassan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Poor Nev. She didn't deserve what happened to her city. None of the Shadow Dragons in Marathas did. Not that it would have been any better in Treviso. Sometimes there's just no good choice, right? A third edition of the Unnameable Elements? I didn't even know it had editions.
Oh, it's much improved with the index. Please, borrow it if you'd like.
I'd love to. Oh, Rook. You probably wanted to say hi. Thanks, Professor.
You look moved in.
Just a few essentials. Manfred was a great help with the boxes. What a fascinating place this lighthouse is. What do you make of it?
Early on, it mostly felt empty, but it's gotten more homey with each new person.
For all its grandeur, the lighthouse does seem meant for company.
Did you get the tour yet?
Oh, I've been exploring, but I noticed a few of the others taken aback by Manfred, and I overheard remarks about my skulls. My necromancy won't cause any undue worry, will it?
We're still getting used to one another.
True. And yet...
Give it time. We'll settle in.
Please excuse me. Manfred and I should finish our inventory. Thank you for stopping by. By the way, Rook, before I left, Myrna and Veilguard asked if we could assist with an outbreak of hauntings across Thedas. They also mentioned displaced wisps in the necropolis. I'm not sure what's frightened them, but it bears investigation.
Hauntings and scared wisps? Let's look into it.
Thank you. We'll depart for the necropolis whenever you're ready.
Let's ask Myrna and Veilguard about these hauntings.
I'd also appreciate it if we could see to those displaced wisps. Now, despite what you may have heard, spirits who dwell here do so willingly. Most of our working dead are animated by unthinking wisps, which are little more than impulses from the Fade. But later, I could introduce you to some truly intelligent undead.
I think I've met enough spirits, thanks.
Smells like incense. Old meat and starched linens.
Thank you for coming, Rook. We're in need of your assistance.
Your letter spoke of hauntings?
Malign spirits freed by the gods.
They have concretized into a variety of forms. Left unchecked, these spirits will cause great harm.
They must be put to rest.
This haunting was once a spirit of curiosity.
It has turned to a darker purpose.
Rook, Professor, a new group of Venatori trespass in the Shrouded Halls.
The gall of them!
They come in search of plunder.
We'll put a stop to that.
What do we have here? That did it. Emmerich, this one's all yours. Here's one of those scattered wisps you mentioned, Emmerich.
It's out of alignment. Let's find a receptacle for it while it recovers.
Can't do this without a wisp. The door's locked. Maybe it'll open if we bring more wisps.
Are they leading us here or warning us away?
They're powerfully warded, and yet... someone passed through these doors not long ago.
I wonder what this is about. We got it.
Other halls have been left in full.
What do we have here? That did it. We got it.
This cannot be the last wisp. We need another to unlock that door.
Right. Let's look around. That did it.
Easy enough.
That last wisp's unlocked this door. Let's take a look.
Dead Venatori get through a locked door?
An excellent question.
Sealed tight.
Stand back. Are you Venatori? Are there sniffing rats? What form have you all? This vault's riches are mine. I tore them from the dead, and with me, they will remain.
It's a demon.
And a powerful one, to have been kept behind such ancient locks instead of simply banished.
Let's search around. Maybe the Venatori knew something. Those are bones. Has this spirit been scattering someone's corpse around?
It considers this all a game. Let's return the remains to where they belong.
That did it. The bones are back where they should be. These are instructions. Lighting candles will drive away malign spirits from the vaults.
An ancient practice. Let us see if it avails us.
Let's look for those candles we have that will cleanse this place. Last candle. The vaults should be quieter now.
The air grows lighter already.
Looks like the Venatori planned on taking a few things with them.
The villains.
Clear. So, Emmerich, you're a Mortalitasi.
Mortalitasi is a general term. I belong to the Morn Watch.
But you are a necromancer.
Yes, certainly.
There's a haunting.
That was like Manfred, only worse.
Manfred would never be so vicious. Though, when pressed the wrong way, errant spirits of curiosity sometimes turn to malice.
I think this wisp wants something. For us? Thanks.
Very generous.
Wonder what their story was.
I could ask, if you'd like.
Stumbling. The steps. Skeletons saw. Oh. No choice. Had to be brave. Had to be brave. Too late to cry. So many graves.
Venatori sure made themselves cozy here.
The cultists will be staying longer than they imagined.
Myrna and Borgoth will be happy. I think that's the last of the trespassing Venatori.
It's a travesty so many of them gathered here undetected. We really must raise some new corpse guards.
Everything's calm. Looks like the candles worked.
I see some of my colleagues have begun the renewal of the vows.
No! Not yet! Don't bury me! I'm alive! I'm still alive! It's open. There's light.
As a spirit mage, you must sense spite.
I'm sorry that you two came together under such unjust circumstances. Mm-hmm. My sympathies.
You can hear spite, even when he doesn't take me over?
This close, yes.
I am so sorry.
That skeleton that used to be a spirit of curiosity is gone.
Our gratitude. The magic animating this haunting is ancient.
The gods stole its slumber.
The Venatori won't be bothering you anymore.
You have our thanks.
The spirits rest more soundly.
We've much to examine.
Myrna, we finished clearing out the Vault of the Beloved.
Our thanks. We will arrange a vigil there.
Eternity will resume.
Hey, Rook. Quite a collection, huh?
Can't do this without a wisp.
So, Tosh, you're the dragon hunter in this outfit.
Yep. And you do monsters.
Seems our work's going to overlap.
Oh, it's not. I handle dragons. You kill monsters. And Darkspawn.
Dragons are monsters.
What? No, dragons are natural. Been around longer than we have. Darkspawn and monsters are just Vashidon that came later.
Fair enough, but I'll handle any archdemons we meet.
Fine. But I get to help.
Another helper waits between the facing gods. Dweller, it is whole, restored.
Nev, settling back in?
More or less. Lots to catch up on, but when isn't there? I'm ready to get back to work. If we could skip the personal catch-up. Not the day for it.
Take all the time you need.
I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels. Fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance. How would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Who'd you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my Necropolis excursions ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
If I say good to meet you, will he get that?
Manfred's alert to the sentiment, certainly. I encountered him as a wisp in the Necropolis years ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
It's gotta bring back a little peace at least.
That's my belief as well. I swear I could see it sometimes, Rook. A glint of recognition of something more in the dead.
Hey, that's my sleeve. Are you trying to steal my buttons?
As well as a certain mischievousness. Manfred,